I'm just predicting Cal's gonna end up in a relationship straight up. Like I just see it happening. Like no, like he just has this like he just has that lovey type energy. Like he's gonna end up in a relationship within the next like 30 to 60 days straight up. You gotta be careful with that too, because you don't want to fall off and you want to continue your game. Like Matt, you're still being social and shit, right? Even though you're like and stuff. Like he's gotten really serious, but he's still going out. Like he's still at the party on Saturday. He's still being social. He's still doing social things, right? Because you don't want to fall into be like, dude, understand this. I am also the guy who gets in relationships and I'll just stay home for a month. And then what happens? It was funny when summer started, because me and Matt spent the first half of the year in relationships. We noticed when summer hit, we had a lot less girls coming on our guest list, right? We're like, fuck. Like we were just like two in like lovey-dovey mode, hanging with our girlfriends or whatever. Right? Because Matt had a couple girls and we had our main girls. I had a couple girls and we had our main girls, right? And then we just noticed like our guest list at the clubs were kind of like drying up. So if you do end up in a relationship, because some of you guys will, like it could happen to Felix, could happen to you. It could happen to you too. Like you guys have that kind of vibe. It could happen to you too, bro, straight up, right? You know, it's like you got to make sure you continue being social, right? And like it's a little bit different at that point. You're not now trying to get your dick sucked, but maybe you're trying to network, you're trying to meet people, you're trying to connect with people, you're trying to like social network. Bro, this is pretty crazy because like, does it feel like it's been a week? Like either way, I'm like, damn, this was a long fucking 1 month bootcamp. Wait a second, this is a week ago. What the fuck? That's when we started. And it doesn't feel like it's been a week. It feels like it's been a very long time. And now we're at the end, but is it the end?
Hell no.
What is it?
The beginning.
It's just the beginning, okay? It's just the beginning. Right? Some dude messaged me on Instagram yesterday, and he's like, hey man, you know, you've come a long way since doing like infield pickup on the streets in Toronto. And my response, it's just the beginning, bro. And he's like, yeah man, I'll see you at the top. We all have a long way to go, right? And it's kind of cool. Every time I get to do boot camp, it's kind of like I have sleeper agents that I can call upon whenever I need it. Because at some point, I'm gonna build a fucking army of like absolute savages. No, straight up, dude. I have old clients of mine in government. I have old clients of mine in fucking politics. I have clients of mine in like super high up in all different companies and all different industries, like CFOs of like a fucking AI company that just got like fucking funded $30 million by NVIDIA or whatever, right? So it's like I have all these dudes, and like when the time comes, it's like we'll do business with each other, we'll fuck connect with each other. You're gonna meet me in the clubs in Miami or Orlando, wherever the fuck, you know what I mean? We're gonna talk a little bit about that today. About finding a wingman and going out consistently. We're talking a little about career implementation, how it all works, right? We're gonna talk a little bit about all that stuff. But it's interesting because you guys are now part of my network. We're friends now at the end of the boot camp. Halfway through the boot camp, I'm like, okay, I'll stop being so hard on you guys. Now we're actually building like a really good friendship, right? Because at some point, I might need your help. At some point, I might be in Brisbane, Australia, right? Or somewhere in fucking Colorado, and I'm like, dude, I need a favor. Calling a favor. I mean, I need to bring me 10 bitches. I mean, I need to come kick at your penthouse. You know, I need to fucking, who knows? Who the fuck knows, right? You never really know where you're gonna end up or how things are gonna work. But it's pretty interesting how these things work. Like, I have a student who did boot camp with me 4 years ago, and now he's gonna be helping me with some sales stuff and like training my team and shit like that, right? And cause he's running like a fucking he's like leading, training a multi-million-dollar sales team. Dude's like 23 years old. It's crazy. A lot of my clients end up becoming like absolute fucking legends, dude. Like straight up, I know for a fact, a lot of my students are gonna end up being like world leaders, like CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. I've already worked with such affluent people. And the guys who actually end up making it, do you guys understand the statistical anomaly of you making it into a boot camp? The statistical probability of you making it to boot camp is kind of crazy. I wanna say it's like 1 in 100,000 people who see my content. Because if I've done 100 million social media views, and I've coached maybe a few thousand people, like the statistical probability of you make it here is so fucking low. But then every month, I get like a couple thousand guys apply for coaching, and I go and take on like, how many guys per month for boot camp? 10. You know what I mean? Yeah, like a dozen at most. You know, the statistical probability of you even making here is such a fucking anomaly. And I know for a lot of you guys, you had to like fight to make it here, get passports, this and that, whatever. You had to fucking figure shit out. You had to fly in, your bees, all of this stuff. I mean, you signed up for boot camp in January, bro. Like, it's fucking crazy. And then you make it to the end, and it's like, who have you become? And who will you become in the future? So you should all be super fucking proud of yourselves that you made it to the end, because also not a lot of guys make it to the end. Not everyone has the mindset it takes to stay completely 100% resilient. Does that make sense to you guys? Super important that you guys realize that. I've had students sign for boot camp, they didn't even show up. That's called self-sabotage. You understand that? And a lot of guys never make it out of that. A lot of guys are just stuck in self-sabotage. A lot of guys are just stuck. Sometimes I feel like self-sabotage coming up and I'll sit down and just meditate. I'll deal with it, I'll work through it, okay? But a lot of guys don't know how to actually get themselves out of that mindset, okay? The fact that you made it this far means you're a man of power, really, of empowerment. You are empowered now. Does anyone feel empowered, yes or no?
Hell yeah.
Does everyone feel like they're way better than when the day you got here?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck, yes, dude. The things you've seen, can you unsee it?
No.
Guys, we hung out 3 billionaires this week. Crazy? Or is that normal? What the fuck? That is insane. We went to a party full of millionaires where every guy there was a millionaire. Is that normal, yes or no?
No.
We're in parties and there's influencers there with millions and millions of followers. Is that insane or is that normal?
Insane.
Fucking crazy, right? How many girls do you think you met this week? How many girls do you think you shook hands with and say, hey, I'm Angus too?
Hundreds, man.
What about you? How many girls do you think you shook hands with and said, hey?
Probably 50 to 100 again.
50, dude, you did 100 pro challenge. What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck? It's like 200, 300? Ev, what about you? How many? Hundreds. We talked to hundreds and hundreds of women, right?
One
Right?
I've spoken to in the rest of my life.
He just said more than he's spoken to in the rest of his life. Isn't that crazy?
Think about how much experience, more than you've spoken to in your life, man. Think about how much experience you're getting, man. It's crazy.
Isn't that really just a mind fuck? Can you just think about how important social skills is? Think about how important everything you've learned is. You remember, take massive action. So what do you have to do tomorrow?
10 to 20 approaches.
10 to 20 approaches. What about Thursday?
Same shit.
Go out. What about Friday?
Same shit.
Go out. How long do you keep going out for?
Till you die.
Forever, right? Look, you can do the 30 challenge. And after the 30 challenge, you can be like, all right, did the 30 challenge. Right, today's day 8 of the 30 challenge. Tomorrow's day 9. You're supposed to be tracking the 30 challenge. You should have like a journal. I have a game journal. I kind of forgot to tell you guys about it, but I have a game journal. Like I write down everything that happens every single day for the last 10 years. I haven't missed a day.
No shit.
Isn't that crazy? Journaling. This is called journaling, okay? I have journaled every single day since May 17th, 2013, okay? Pretty much haven't missed a day. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some times where it's just like a stay home for a week and every day is pretty much the same. So I'll do like a journal like entry every 3 days. Like for this 3 days, did this, this, and this, and this, this. I'll do a boot camp and like I'd pass out. So at the end of the week, I'm like, I write down a massive journal entry of everything that happened, all the bitches I fucked, kind of like a breakdown, spend like an hour on it. Does that make sense, guys? Yes or no?
Yes.
But journaling is key. It is so important, okay? I'm gonna explain why in a moment, because journaling goes hand in hand with goal setting. This is super important. Journaling and goal setting, super, 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 super important. So what you should do is you should write down a journal entry today at some point. Be like, hey, did the Just Marc boot camp. Like at the end of the boot camp, like on your flight home, whatever, just like write down everything that happened, write down all your experiences, what you learned, everything, and you affirm it by writing it down. Because there's learning, right? And getting the reference experiences, then there's breaking down the reference experiences. Does that make sense to you guys? Yeah. You need to break down the reference experience. Say with me, break down the reference experiences. It's very important that you break down the reference experiences so that way you actually are understanding why the things that worked. Does it make sense? So you're guaranteed to have it work again in the future.